let's go as we go around the room. Let's go. Who we got to go to? Tracy, Ryan, and Oscar.
All right. So start the last sentence first. How should such conflicts be prevented? An efficient, empowered, agile innovation team do not understand why required approvals from the legal department are allowed to delay their progress. Eventually, the team confronts the product owner in a heated retrospective exchange. The product owner replies that the approvals are needed to check for existing patents, which would block the team's product from going to market. So how should such conflicts be prevented? Let's see. A, require that supporting department stakeholders attend the daily meetings to report progress. Daily meetings, that's the daily standards, correct? So I would say no for that one.
Okay.
B is ensure that the product owner can easily be approached to respond to team questions and concerns. I don't know if that's actually solving the issue.
What's the issue again? There were so many words I literally got lost. I'm sorry. I was glad that you had the question, not me. Like, what's the issue I have to solve?
The issue is that their delay is being slowed down due to these requirements being imposed by the legal department.
Okay, so there's a legal department. There's a delay. Okay.
Approved. I guess it's approved changes.
Approvals are needed to check for existing patents. So like the team built something, then it's on the legal to make sure that like it makes it through. Kind of like when you're buying a house, then they have to run like run the title and all that stuff. It's not the same thing, but like we just want to make sure that we don't release something out in the market and get sued forever.
Right.
Yeah. So they're trying to say like, hey man, like the legal thing's holding us up. Okay, in your opinion, cool.
Okay, yeah, make sure everything's free and clear. Okay, so in short, like I said, I don't think B, because B is not going to answer the question about the product owner being easily approachable. So I would take out B.
Okay.
So C, require the team to move a story to the Kanban blocked column if they have concerns about progress. No.
What's a Kanban blocked column?
Uh-oh.
I got weakness in your voice, but it's okay. Not in the negative sense. I heard a glitch, and I just asked. What is it? You got it. Any idea?
The Kanban board, isn't it how they progress through the project to show progression?
Yeah, it's pretty like, hey, these are the things we got to do. These are the things that are working now. These are the things that are like in testing or QA or whatever. These are the things that are done. Then we got like a blocked column. If we move a card or whatever to the block column, what does that say to everybody else?
Well, I mean, it's a visual representation of where we are. So I don't think that's going to help with this issue, but I mean, it's nice
Understood,
to know
but it just should help everybody else out. In generalities, if you move a card or its particularities or whatever it is, if you move a card to the block column, what are you telling the world? Because it's a visual indicator, what are you telling them? Don't overthink it.
If I move it to
the blocked column.
Sure.
Yeah, you do. You know it. What's the column called?
I mean, I guess you have a block, you have an issue.
Yeah, you got an issue. Like you're like saying, hey, I need help. I can't progress this unless something changes. And you might like listen to like, I'm stuck because I'm waiting on something from somebody else or the code, whatever. I don't know what my guy's right. Like something's a problem. I just want to know like, what's the problem and who do they need to get it from? That's what we care. We talk about like, hey, I need to go talk to Edwin or Eric or Rachel or Michael or Nate. Cool. Do your magic. So it's like over there, it means it's like blocked. Cool. And you say that's not relevant here. It's probably not because things aren't blocked, right? Or
correct.
Okay, keep it going.
Correct. All right. So D, ensure that the product owner presents the team the rationale behind the refinement workflow.
Yep.
I would go with that one since I eliminated the other three.
You did it, but if it was the only answer, would you go with it?
Right. So I'm thinking because ensure that the product owner presents the team the rationale. Okay, to explain, because the product owner is the one that is in charge of these user stories, charge of the project, well, not charge of the project, but owns it. So I think so.
Okay.
I think it would be refinement of workflow. I think it would be D.
You tell them, hey, here's what we got to do. This is why we got to do it. Like the laws are, whatever. This is why we got to do it. Chill out. Like, and it says a refinement. I'm not sure what that thing is, but whatever. Okay, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
Sweet. So you got a lot of fans: Jody, Ralter, Josephine, Brent, Kyle, Jane, Grace, Tyra, Aaron. I ran out of names. You got lots of people. So hang on. Oscar's the third person. Who was the second person? I started Ryan.
I think it was me.
What do you think, dude?
I agree. I agree with D. The key word here that stuck out to me was the innovation team does not understand. So because they don't understand, and because we're thinking long-term solution to the project, to this issue, to this conflict, to prevent issues further down the line, what we want to make sure is that the product owner is presenting this team why their project is being delayed, to give them that understanding, to give them that rationale. That's why I chose D.
Okay. All right. So it's like there, and you said to respond to this conflict. Okay, I understand. Oscar, when he said respond to this conflict, what conflict is he talking about, dude? Good job, Ron. I'll be back.
He's talking about not the team not understanding why it's being held up.
Understand. I understand. And then he said the word conflict. Is there a conflict in this question? You may not say conflict. It says confronts, but
Right. So that they're confronting the product owner in the retrospective, and the reply is that the legal team needs to check for what it says there are 16 patterns. So this prevents or blocks the team from moving forward while the legal team is doing their thing.
okay. Yeah, and so like I think they did it, and the team's like, we made this cool thing, like, why can't it get out there? And you're like, hey man, like, it's because legal's got to check it, then it goes out. So it's just like a step in the path. Totally understand. And they did say, like, they did it in the retro, right? It says, like, read that second sentence out loud, please, Oscar.
The product owner reply.
Yeah, this one. It's starting here.
So eventually the team confronts the product owner in a heated retrospective exchange. The product owner replies that the approvals are needed to check for existing patents, which would block the team's product from going into market.
Okay, so there's the word block. That's cool. For the existing patents would block it. So we're checking for like, hey, make sure there's not anything out there that's going to keep you from going. So the purpose of the retro is, what's the purpose of the retrospective, Oscar?
So it's to say, what do we do right? What do we do wrong? What can we do better?
100%.
So it was the right forum to discuss that. It was.
Because that's when we get better and stuff. And then like if you have brothers and sisters or family or whatever teams, like, is there a right way or a wrong way to like talk about stuff? Like, can I do it wrong? Even though like there might be the right subject, but could I do it poorly? If you know what I mean.
Oh, I'm sorry, Scott. What?
I apologize. I said it like a lot of words and probably didn't say much. Could I do something? Could I handle myself improperly in the retro as a human being? Could I be disrespectful? Could I be like confrontational? Sophie, I saw you nodding. It's either music or you had a thought. Like, what do you think? I'll come back, Oscar.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Okay, so talk to me about what do you see in this question? What am I trying to get at in this question?
Because because it sounds like a heated retrospective exchange, so that means that everybody was angry because of the misunderstanding. So you wasn't approachable. It was more like more confrontational.
Yeah.
There. So.
Yeah. So such conflicts. How should such conflicts be prevented? So the question that we got to go through is like Sophie's talking about, what is the conflict? Is the conflict that like, hey, there's a blockage? Okay, whatever. I mean, there's always going to be like something there. Like there's always a thing that happens in the project, whatever. I think the issue here is that like, hey, they had a heated retrospective exchange. It's like, hey man, like, it's not life or death. Like there's no reason to be mad or scream or be disrespectful, stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff I think that we need to rein in and figure out, like, how do we keep from having this kind of process at the end? Because would it prevent us from having a fight if we explained in the future the refinement workflow? I don't know what the refinement workflow is, by the way. But if we just talked about this legal stuff, the next project might be different. We're like, hey, we're going to talk about the legal process. We explain that. Would it keep us from not fighting and junk? I don't know. The question is also asking generally how to prevent conflicts, Mike asks or says. Jane, you're super new, but say what you're saying. What's up? What are you thinking, Jane?
I'm sorry, did you say Jade?
Jade, I apologize. I was thinking Jane, but I said it wrong.
No worries. No, just in regards to what you were saying, it's just your approach. You can say whatever you want to someone, not whatever you want, but it's just how you say it. You have to be calm about it, I guess, in that regards.
All right, that seems reasonable. All right, great. Josephine, what do you think the answer is and why? Josephine?
So after you explain, so I think I lean more into B now to, ensure the product owner can be easily approached. Because, so we need to respect each other and, don't want to be violence or hassle. So let the product owner, easily approach to the team and respond any conflicts or any concerns.
Right. All right, that seems reasonable. Kyle asks, is the refined workflow related to Agile Sprint? I think this refinement workflow, I don't know really what they're talking about here. It could be like just a workflow, explain the workflow to the people. That might help. But refinement of the work, I don't know. It's a little too specific and not a general Agile principle or anything like that. Diego's on C. Diego, talk me through it real quick.
Sure.
Rob.
I kind of want to refer to D before I actually choose D. So D, the last sentence of the question saying the product owner replies that the approvals are needed. So he's communicating already with the team. So that's kind of overemphasizing the D,
Right.
the answer, ensure that the product owner presents the team the rationale. So he's already explaining himself why. So D, I don't see why D should be. But C, one of the parts of Kanban is the work in progress. And that could be potentially a work in progress, saying, hey, there is a legal, legal review that's been done on this item before we finish the product. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. The Kanban kind of has that work in progress portion. So if the legal department is reviewing certain items, I think that's a work in progress. And I think that could open conversation among the team.
I think with the first of all, concur with what you're saying a little bit. Like the Kanban, like the board, though, the working process it's critical to making Kanban work in the sense of like each column, you just can't pile it full of work. You got to say how much can actually stick in there. So that's the whip that we're talking about. You want to constrain the whip to like what you can actually control in each one of them, or otherwise you're gonna have you're not gonna get anything done. It's just gonna stick there. But the block means like the work that's currently being completed by an individual cannot be done because of a limitation put on itself or somebody else. So this work is not necessarily blocked. It's just in the workflow, and it's just sitting there like legal's got to do it. So it might not be visualized. That could be a problem. Didn't say that, but it seems like the team does know. It's like, yo, why does legal have to do this? I think B, we could write B a little bit better. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off. You?
Yeah, so that's kind of my rationale for C. B, it's saying that ensure that the product owner can be easily approached. That's kind of assuming that he's not easily to be approached. Just because they got a heated retrospective exchange, that could be just from the sprint team working, and they'll just get tired of all the delays.
They just get upset or whatever. Yeah.
I don't know. That
seems reasonable. I appreciate it. Troy, what are you thinking, dude?
I was thinking B. The word that stood out to me was eventually. So that kind of drew me to B. I was thinking that maybe the team just they had trouble, getting to the product owner, or maybe he wasn't as available as they needed him to be.
Mm-hmm.
So B, because of that word eventually, I thought, maybe if the product owner in the future, if he's just makes himself more available, that, could avoid answer that question of avoiding that type of conflict in the future.
Yeah, awesome. Aaron says, Aaron, thank you, sir. Aaron, what do you think? And then Grace, and then we'll get an answer. What are you thinking, Aaron?
Yeah, so originally I thought D was the best answer, but I think that's kind of like the quote unquote fool's gold, because it's talking about the current situation and the product owner already explained the rationale after getting confronted. So B is more like, how in the future this wouldn't happen again.
Right. And so like the kettle is like exploding now with like the steam and the pressure because of that eventually word. Good job, Aaron. And then Grace, what were you thinking? Just bring it home?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. I think it revolves a lot about what the product owner is supposed to be, bringing the team together, and how agile is really team approach. So if they can't be approached, we're in a bad place.
Yeah, there you go. So we're gonna go to there. And so, we can write this B a lot better, but if we're the scrum master in this situation and we see, whoa, first of all, like pry them apart, make sure nobody bites each other and fights. But like everybody's got a culpability in this. Scrum master in two, to say, why didn't the scrum master go, hey man, I can see the team getting like boiling, getting upset. Like, I gotta get this product owner here. I gotta talk to him. I gotta connect to him. So scrum master's got a little bit of like culpability here. The product owner, you could say like, hey dude, you gotta get more involved with the stuff. You gotta get more involved with the team and share and be a little bit more present, like in those things. And then the team, it's like, yo, like you can't.
I am not there. I am your imagination.
We record these, dude. Like, you don't have a shirt on. So all right, that was your imagination. Yeah, so everybody's got a part to play in it, but it's like product owner, be there, bro. So cool, let's keep it going.